What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd, and I'm back with some more Age Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the left side of the map in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is Shelty. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Odin. His name is GrandMonster. The map is Oasis, and this is a best of 3 game number 2 for the Vubly Champions League. Shelty up 1-0 in this best of 3, taking that first game on Mediterranean in dominating fashion. Moving on to game number 2 here, we're seeing the double Ulfsark start from GrandMonster, and a very, very early great hunt here, giving him an extra goat there, giving him 2 extra giraffe and an extra goat. So we'll see if he moves directly over to that location there. I mean, it's a bit of an obnoxious wood line here. So we actually really should go there nice and quick. He is actually going there after that zebra. He's going to hold his zebra in his base, move forward, eat all the giraffe as fast as he can, and he's trying to find as many goat as he possibly can. We do have the Oracle already stealing goat away from GrandMonster. He's actually going to move in, start slicing away at that Oracle in an effort to find all of this stuff. And we will be moving around this location looking for something to do. Trying to find some goat, but actually Shelty's positioning on these oracles is pretty brutally good. If we check out where all the goat are, there's 2 here he might grab. And that's kind of it. There's 2 here, or 1 here. And that's all of the goat on the map. So there's only looking like 7 goat for GrandMonster, but he does have decent giraffe. So we'll see how this goes. Shelty not building the economic guild. This is absolutely standard for Oasis. I would recommend this style to literally every single Oranos player on this map, because this map can be very unforgiving to Oranos players. If you go for hunting dogs and you don't find your hunt, for example, it's going to be tough. And even if you do find your hunt, it's this is possibly the lowest hunt spawn Oasis you can possibly get, with only 2 giraffe and 2 zebra. So hunting dogs, not exactly worth it. Now we see the villager jumping in to the manor, jumping over onto the chicken, going for a 4-minute advance. We're seeing these villagers attempt to get as many of these giraffe as possible. And now the problem that we're going to see here, even though GrandMonster went to this hunt early, he's still not going to be able to have eaten the entirety of these giraffe if the Oracle Scouts hit this right on 4 minutes. So he may be through this giraffe, definitely not through this giraffe, if Shelty spots it. And the Oracle pressure on there is going to be it's going to be some damage. So obviously he sort of needed to do it, otherwise he's not going to be able to advance. So that's fine in that regard. He's trying to get out a dwarf here. There's the dwarf. We'll see how he goes, but more villagers coming in, going to be eating this giraffe, and then going to be advancing very, very soon, getting his final ox card out, going for a 430 versus the 4, or it looks like a 355 advance time. And honestly, this situation over here, if the oracles decide to hit it, which it looks like they're not going for it, which is a bit peculiar from Shelty. This is definitely something you want to be doing, is hitting this hunt if you can. But he's not doing it, which is going to allow GrandMonster access to all of this hunt, and he's going to retreat back to his base, still have this zebra left over to move on to. And GrandMonster's going to be in a pretty decent position. 9 goats. Needs to make sure that he gets out the right resources in the right way, because he's probably going to have to farm in the classical age here. Villagers idle, need to get over onto this. He does have a monkey in this corner as well, which might be huge. So here, see how that's going to go. The Promethean offspring coming immediately, but they're probably not going to make it to this. I was going to say they're not going to make it before the Valkyrie comes out, but looks like GrandMonster a little bit further behind than I thought. I think he built an extra unit or something, extra villager. The Ursa's out. Promethean offspring going to come over and hit this location. GrandMonster's going to be shorted about 100 food on this giraffe if he doesn't decide to just fight back, which he probably will, given it's only 2 Promethean. He's going to fight it back. They're going to push in, push back. And it looks like GrandMonster is going to decide to just leave the giraffe, leave the 100 food there, get back to his base. So that great hunt has netted him an extra 500 food, 600 plus 300 on the extra goat that he got. So he's got an extra 800 food from that. So that's very, very nice, especially on a map with such low food like this one. So we'll see how he goes from here, moving directly to the zebra, the longhouse coming up. He does have a very open gold line here, utilizing the longhouses to create a wall around here, and we do see some of these medium terma coming in. Shelty obviously going double counter barracks here. We have been seeing sometimes military barracks and a military and a counter barracks, going from a Milo and Terma in this matchup. Thanks so much for the 10 bits, an anonymous cheerer. Appreciate it, man. Oh, apparently we're supposed to move this this thing over here. Hold on. Quinto is telling me to move my stuff. That looks bad. No, it's going back. As we're missing the game here, guys. All right. Nice ghost building here from GrandMonster. Going to be able to snipe a Terma or two as they're trying to get out. Nice, really nice play. Now, Shelty is going to snipe the Valkyrie. He's going to run straight into the town center and die to the town center fire. Feels bad. Man. Now the Terma moving forward. Going to be looking for someone to attack, but we've already got a ton of Ulfsark out, and Lone Wanderer is on the way. Now, Lone Wanderer does have the extra 10 seconds of research time here, so it does take a really long time to upgrade. But once it comes through, these Terma stop being very, very good at all. We'll see how they go. Now the Terma pushing in, going to be attempting to hit this chicken here. It looks like he's spotted that as a point of attack. Smart play. There's no units here. Immediate reaction from GrandMonster. Really nice play. I wouldn't mind seeing a shockwave here from Shelty, but he doesn't go for it. Instead, jumping into the town center. Going to be popping back out, coming back over to the chicken. Immediately, we see the raids coming in. Oh, there's a beautiful citizen. Nice reaction from Shelty. He's already got a bunch of units over here, so GrandMonster probably not going to be able to kill off this citizen. Or maybe he will. Looks like he's going for it. Yeah, a nice play here from GrandMonster. Picks off one citizen. Absolutely huge. Doesn't even lose an Ulfsark here as they're trying to speed back up to their max speed to get away from here. So he does manage to do that one there. So he's going to get away. And we see the Ulfsark coming in, going to snipe some more of these units. The shockwave being used in order to try and snipe down those Hursa. Nice move from Shelty before he's going to be retreating back. We still haven't seen Shelty transitioning away from the Terma flood, which may bite him here. He needs to start thinking about going into Kairos and maybe into more defensive nature here, as the Ulfsark now have medium infantry plus Lone Wanderer. These Terma are going to be very, very weak. We are seeing a nice cutoff here from GrandMonster. He's going to attempt to take even more of Shelty's units down as they're retreating back. He gets a good amount of kills there, and he's just going to leave away. And the Terma will try and chase him down, but they should be able to. This Ulfsark should be able to get away fairly easily. This Ulfsark has a death wish, but only gets hit by one spear before retreating away. Nice play. And now the Ulfsark coming around this side as well, just looking for something to do. Nice defense so far from Shelty here, throwing up a mana onto this location here. He's got 300 food left in that giraffe there. And the Promethean should be enough to prevent this from pushing in. What is happening here? That was the weirdest lag I've ever seen. I've never seen lag in a recorded game in my entire life. Someone want to explain to me? Was that my computer just being like, I can't handle. Okay, but they all start coming in. He could cast Forest Fire to kill off this mana. But he's going after the Terma here. Nice garrison micro from Shelty to keep that one alive. The Kara is going to be preventing this Ulfsark from doing anything. The wall's going up for GrandMonster now. He can start considering simply just going to the Heroic Age, getting a second town center, doing whatever he wants. He's starting to farm. I would prefer to see him just throw the armory up, go to the next age before the town center on this map, just because of how little hunch you have. You can see that GrandMonster's got 3 or like 3.5, maybe 4 goat left. And they've all got a lot of food here, 250-ish on all of them. So he does have the food to advance to the next stage if he stops building units, but he's not going to. Now we're seeing the Terma coming around and Shelty looking for something to do here. We see the walls coming up. We see the armory is up here. And he has built, well, he's still building raiding cavalry from one of these buildings. He's got the walls set up. So it's going to be very hard for Shelty to hit any sort of timing here. As GrandMonster is simply just going to be moving over to this gold mine here or here. The wall here is enough. Maybe you can throw up more walls or whatever and be completely fine. Or alternatively, if GrandMonster is afraid here, he may just start building more Ulfsark or more raiding cavalry and try and defend. But and we see the units moving in. The dwarf's simply just going to retreat away. He doesn't have the gold to advance. But he is still building some units. We see him going after the houses. We'll see what GrandMonster is going to do here. He's kind of short on military buildings if he loses these, so he's going to have to rebuild those. Throwing a house over here. The dwarves making their way over up onto this gold mine here. More raiding cavalry coming out. GrandMonster very, very far away from the next stage. We see a military barracks finally coming down for Shelty. Shelty also far from the heroic age as well. Trying to see these dwarves sneaking by, but they're not going to be able to. Going to be losing 1 or 2 of them. See the throwing axemen trying to do some damage, but there's really no reason to have throwing axemen at this stage. So there's no more Miller here. And we see him coming in with the Ulfsark coming around the backside here. This is a really, really big surround by GrandMonster. Shelty is completely out of position, but he has a nice choke point here between the wall and this location here. We do have a forest fire if he wants to consider using it on this location here to open this fight up a little bit. That would allow this gold mine to be a target. And now we're seeing more raiding cavalry coming in, and he's able to surround those Terma. We've got the Valkyrie coming in to snipe down the Caraballas. We've got 90 population for GrandMonster, 85 population for Shelty, and Shelty loses almost everything here as GrandMonster can hang on, survive beautifully against that defense there. So very, very nice play from GrandMonster with that surround, running the Ulfsark all the way around the map to come on to the back of Shelty's army there. Now Shelty retreating with his Terma and his Promethean offspring. To be in a fantastic position here. We've got the more longhouses coming down. And now GrandMonster's won that fight. He can consider doing literally whatever he wants here. Basically, he needs farms. But he could throw a bunch of villages over to wood, get a second town center, throw up the farms later. He's got tons of gold income, so he could put these villages over onto the berry bush, try and get to the next age off of those. He's going for wood here, pushing through. He can go for a gold star potentially. He's got the Raven over here checking this out. Can go for some side raids. We do see the villages over here can get hit by the Ulfsark. That's exactly where GrandMonster is sending those Ulfsark there. And Shelty's got these slow Caraballas in his army. Very tough to fight this Norse army at this point. He needs to get to the next age and start mixing in Dryads, Symphalian birds, Arcus, Destroyers, all those beautiful heroic age units. We just see the villagers getting pushed off of the wood there. That's a nice little bit of damage done to Shelty's economy. We check out Shelty's economy. He's got no economic upgrades. Oh dear. Forgetting to throw down his economic guild or something there, you have to guess. And he's forgotten upgrades completely, as now the Ulfsark coming in. The Raiders on top of the Caraballister. The Ulfsark on top of the Terma. Incredibly well played there by GrandMonster. Those raiding cavalry do bonus damage versus siege at 100%. So they're doing 16, 17 damage to the Caraballister every single attack there. So they die incredibly quickly. That's so many resources lost. And GrandMonster is on the warpath now. He's getting deflected over here with the Ulfsark. He loses one of them, but now he can hit this location. The Raven is flying overhead, knows it's there. I would love to see a cheeky Ulfsark or two come over to this location, just wall this off over here to prevent Shelty from sneaking gold mines over on that side. But obviously, that's some pretty difficult play to just know in the moment. So not going to happen just yet, if it's going to happen at all. We're seeing the Ulfsark coming in, going to be able to take down a lot of these Terma. The throwing axemen, sniping down Mermilla. No real micro here from Shelty, as he's microing a little bit with this Terma, but I mean, it's just one. Ulfsark's not the best. And we see more micro here from Shelty as he's trying to take down these throwing axemen in the back, but the throwing axemen are now able to take down all those Mermilla incredibly well, and Shelty taps out in the 13-minute mark here, not able to hold on against the might of GrandMonster. I feel like when you go for these fast advance times, which you should be going for, the aim of these is to push off this hunt. And he did it, but he did it so late with just the Promethean offspring. Had Shelty utilized his initial Valor to kill this or prevent this from happening, then GrandMonster's setup gets delayed quite a bit, and you can put some more pressure on. Hit this location harder. Not attacking this location was a big mistake here from Shelty until it was too late. And allowing this hunt to get eaten for too long was another bit of a small mistake, but did matter in the end. And then all of these Terma, I don't think that this is the way to play here. I feel like you'd be better off if you're not going to be hitting aggressive attacks with the Terma all over the place and sort of distracting the Olfsarks. I think you're better off trying to get the plow upgrade, trying to get the farms out, trying to get out Murmillo, trying to get to the heroic age faster. Maybe. So many things. Because these Ulfsark, if you play defensively, these Ulfsark, they can't push in. They can't push you off this wood line, for example, with a wall and the tower and some Kyra Ballister. You don't even have to build that many. I do wonder if a defensive classical age into a heroic age timing is the way to go here as well. Just as a random thought. It probably might work. But Shelty does not manage to take this game here. GrandMonster played it very, very nicely. Nice walls, nice ability to get this gold mine. I mean, the other thing is timing attack on this gold mine would have been lights out had he managed to do it, which he sort of tried, attacked here. But GrandMonster's positioning was way too good. And Shelty lost everything on that fight. So GG, well played by GrandMonster. Leveling the series. If you enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow button on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.